Vivian's plan is to swindle Mark and his family. Vivian doesn't love Mark. Vivian is not even capable of loving anybody because she doesn't have the heart to love. Vivian's heart is full of evil, looking for what to destroy and who to take his or her life at every point. Those kind of people are not capable of loving anyone. Okay, so Vivian's plan is to swindle Mark and his family. She has made that categorically clear while discussing with the mother. Remember when she was saying that Nick is truly disturbing her? Nick is making her not to concentrate in doing the things she wants to do. Now, ordinarily, one will feel that, okay, for Vivian to say that he wants Mark, family out of the way, it shows that Vivian wants privacy, or Vivian wants to be left alone, with her husband. The truth is that no, Vivian is saying, Mark's family as an obstruction. Okay, they are obstructing her from carrying out her plan of swindling Mark. And she's doing everything possible to make sure that they do not achieve that by making it, their house uncomfortable for them. Because you know what? There are some actions that Vivian will push Mark to take. But being that the family are around them, they will kind of stop, Mark from doing that. And that is what Vivian is trying to stop. Vivian is in no way trying, or rather is in no way in love with Mark. She just came to swindle Mark because she already knows that Mark is from a rich family. So being that she's someone who can do anything to achieve her mission, getting married to Mark was nothing compared to what she has in mind to achieve from the family. Remember, she already said, she actually discussed with the mother that she has started taking money away from Mark, but then Mark is there, or rather Nick is there to extort everything that she's taking away from the family. That what will be her gain if after taking money from the family, that Nick is also taking that same money away from her. So Vivian never loves Mark. Vivian is just there. Mark is another prey, and Vivian, being the predator, is there to take what she wants to take and move on. And that is why she's not worried about if Mark's sanity is affected. That is why the mother is doing everything to make sure that Vivian kicks Mark's family out of the house, because they have a mission in that house. And the mission is to swindle the family and run away. So marrying Mark is not, enough to say that Vivian loves Mark. Vivian doesn't love Mark. Vivian is in that house for a mission, and Nick is trying to stop Vivian's plan. Moving on, guys, I feel like Uncle Amadi is now 70% sure that Nick is the person that Vivian has been talking to. Because you remember why Vivian was making calls with Nick. Uncle Amadi was eavesdropping and listening to their conversation, and then immediately Vivian finished the call because she didn't know that there was somebody listening to her conversation with Nick. She left, and Uncle Amadi was like that he hope is not who and what he's thinking. Like, he hope is not Nick, and he also hoped that it's not money that Vivian is also planning to send to Nick again. Like, putting two and two together, Uncle Amadi is beginning to understand that the person that Vivian is speaking to on phone is Nick and no other person. And the fact that with what happened the day that Vivian disrespected him, and how Nick came and Vivian listened and obeyed everything that Nick said, and the case where Uncle Amadi saw Vivian and Nick discussing in the kitchen and all that, Uncle Amadi is beginning to put two and two together. And do you think that Uncle Amadi knows that Vivian has the pin to his husband or to her husband's bank account? Do you think that Mark has led, or rather made anyone know that Vivian has access to that account? What do you think that Uncle Amadi will do at this point? Will he start investigating? Will he report this case to Ben? Will he try to remedy this situation? What do you guys think? Because at this point, I feel like Uncle Amadi is 80% sure that, you know, Nick is the person that Vivian has been talking to on phone. The only thing that made Uncle Amadi not to be 100% sure is because during the conversation, Vivian did not mention Nick. Had it been that Vivian mentioned Nick and Uncle Amadi, knowing fully well that Nick is, you know, Ben's friend, would have finally concluded that yes, that Vivian has been talking to Nick and Nick is the one extorting money from Vivian. Guys, what do you think that Uncle Amadi would do? Will he discuss this with somebody, or will he keep it to himself and investigate? Because it's obvious that Uncle Amadi is now the latest investigator. I don't even know what else to call Uncle Amadi at this point in that house. He's the only one doing a good job in that house right now. Helen is concentrating on the fact that he wants to convince Ben, you know, to change his mind and allow Mark to be, you know, and all those stuff. And then Ben is just on a revenge mission without digging more to know what is actually making Mark to act the way he's acting. I feel like, you know, Ben underrates, you know, Vivian's capability. Ben do not think that Vivian, aside her noise and nagging, is capable of doing anything other than that. Okay, and that is why he is not taking Vivian serious. Mama, on the other hand, is old and can do little or nothing about, you know, what is going on in the house. She is only going to cry like a mother and wish that things are okay. Again, Mark, on the other hand, is a confused person who is at this point trying to do everything right to make sure that he gains the love and trust that the family has on him. And that is why he's telling Vivian that can Vivian calm down, that he knows that his family are very emotional and loving. And if Vivian can calm down rather, that things will go back to normal. Now, even though Mark, I expected him to follow Vivian and find out who Vivian was speaking to on phone. Mark did not do that. So Mark is not in any way, you know, standing against Vivian right now. But then again, what do you think? Is Uncle Amadi going to do the lost job? Is Uncle Amadi the one that is going to salvage the situation in the house and stop Vivian from whatever she's doing? Drop your opinion in the comment section. As always, guys, if you're watching from my YouTube channel, please do subscribe. And if you're watching from my Facebook page, thank you for your love. Please do consider following this page if you can relate and love my content. Until I see you all in my next video, thank you for your love. I do not take it for granted. And please, I expect your opinion in the comment section. Bye bye, guys.